Syria is a very beautiful country nature-wise, and so many people would go vacation there, particularly like areas like Latakia. The Hama province is also very beautiful. People are very social in Syria. People also spend a lot of times there are outdoor markets, the souk. So people spend a lot of time just walking through there. There's a lot of history in Syria as well. It's a very historic country. There are ruins in Syria that are thousands of years old, and people also go to visit them as well. So Syria is a very historic, very rich, culturally rich country. And religiously speaking, Syria was mentioned by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in more than one hadith. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ made dua for the people of Syria, and he asked that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect Bilad al-Sham. Also, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, there was a promise made that Syria would be protected, it would be taken care of by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So really, Syria then holds a very special place, not only historically in world history, but also in Islamic history, that, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ kind of directed our attention to the importance of this country, these lands in that area, and the significance that they hold for our ummah, our nation. It's hard to know where to start when you want to talk about the devastation in Syria, because there are so many angles of devastation. You walk into a refugee camp and you see the situation of the children. You see pain and sadness in their eyes, but at the same time, they're children just like children anywhere else, and they want to play and they want to have this normal life. It's a very big deal for a child who now can no longer go to that little corner store and get some candy. When somebody gives them a piece of candy, it's like you've given them the world. And so it doesn't even cut into the need, but at the same time, it has an impact, and it does put a smile on their faces. I saw that for myself. I know members of Helping Hand have come back and they've talked about the impact that even just like hugging one of those children has had on them, because a lot of them have lost family members, and so either they're orphans or they only have their mother left, or they only have an older sibling left. And so it means a lot for us as human beings just to reach out to each other, and especially to these children who have lost everything else and they don't have like normalcy or stability in their life. Then you have the devastation and the destruction of physical infrastructure and buildings. And so you see a lot of this on videos, but when you actually witness it firsthand, it's indescribable. This idea that you were in safety and security and all of a sudden it's all gone. And so just trying to put myself in that position and understand what that means, I think you can't fathom the full extent of what that means until you're actually in that position. And when you see for yourself, even then, you're not understanding the complete emotional distress that refugees and internally displaced are in. Each of these refugees has a story. Like this woman here, she's a refugee in Lebanon now. The story of how she lost her legs is heart-wrenching. Her husband was burned alive in front of her. Her children were killed in front of her. She was begging them, to stop. And finally they told her, okay, you can escape. And as she's running away, they shoot her legs off. Yet, given all that she's lost and saw how she lost her family members. She watched this happen. Given all that she's lost, she's struggling to learn how to walk again using prosthetic limbs. Helping Hand stepped in with the Help Syria Now campaign, which started in March 2012, by distributing more than $1 million of food and hygiene items inside of Syria to internally displaced persons, as well as outside of Syria to refugees. And 21 containers have left the United States containing medical supplies, non-perishable food items, hygiene items, clothes, and those items have totaled more than $1.5 million. When you are helping the people of Syria, it is really special. It is kind of, you're carrying out this legacy that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ mentioned it in our rich Islamic history, that these lands are special. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised to take care of them. So when you are lending a hand to people in Syria or to people in that region, then you know that inshallah you're carrying out this legacy, this promise that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made. We're in the blessed month of Ramadan, and we know that giving in Ramadan is unlike giving in any other month. We would like you to give to these Syrian refugees, give generously, give knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward your donation that much more because it's Ramadan. But there's something we also have to remember. Ramadan is almost over, and as it goes by quickly every year, we have to realize that whatever good we did in that month, we hope to keep up. And Syria's crisis will continue even after Ramadan is over. So whatever you give, do make the intention that inshallah you will continue to give after Ramadan, so that people like the refugee women in the Lebanese hospital can continue to live that dream of going back to a peaceful and a stable Syria, and that they can continue to rebuild their country.